Okay, I might need you to bear with me a little on this. It's not going to be obvious at first how this video relates to mental health, but I assure you it does. I want to begin though by talking about the practice of letting ourselves off the hook. And we do that in a number of ways. I was talking to my immediate manager last week in supervision, and we were talking about an assessment or a triage call which I had made where I missed something, and because I missed it, there was a very difficult night for this particular family. I won't be more specific than that for obvious reasons of confidentiality, but I felt that I had, although I'd got the bulk of the triage call correct, I believe, I'd missed one element because I'd focused on something else. The result of that was, as I say, a fairly difficult night. No harm was done in the end. Everyone was fine, everyone was safe, but it was a difficult night, and other people, other staff through the night had to pick up where I thought I'd left off quite safely. My supervisor, my manager, was actually very nice to me and was trying to let me off the hook and say, well, we've all done things like that. And that's true. That's absolutely true. However, in reflective practice, the one thing we must never do is let ourselves off the hook before we've thought it through. Which is what I said to her. I said, I'm not going to just accept that. I need to reflect on this. I need to think it through. And that's what I did over the next 24 hours. And as a result, I can now say to you, yes, I don't actually believe I missed anything of great import. I think that I focused correctly on the element of the problem or the situation that really needed to be assessed and triaged. And I believe I got that right, and therefore I believe I was safe. But I couldn't come to that conclusion without having first thought it through. And that's the essence of reflective practice, which in my opinion is the backbone or the grounding for good professional nursing. Now that's okay, and for the nurses and mental health workers who may be watching this, I'm sure that'll make sense and feel quite relevant. But what's it got to do with mental health for everybody else? Well, I want to lead on from that and talk about an equally limiting and very commonplace strategy that people use when things go bad. They say, it wasn't meant to be. As if some great universal mind had a plan, as if God had decided to intervene personally in your affairs, as if you had no way of winning because the universe had decided against you. That's letting you off the hook. That's ignoring the very human cause and effect that we all live by. If things have gone wrong, there is a reason why that thing went wrong. Now, that may or may not have anything to do with you, but until you've thought it through, you're not going to know. And if it was your fault, and you don't know, you're likely to make the same mistake again, and again, and again, until eventually you end up believing that you're just unlucky, or the world is out to get you, or other people are out to get you. You'll become miserable, you may become anxious, you may even become paranoid. All because of this rather stupid, trite platitude, it wasn't meant to be. We can only let ourselves off the hook after we have honestly and deliberately considered what the alternatives are, our part in bringing this result to fruition, and deciding whether or not we could have done anything differently. So please, when you're talking to someone who is upset because they didn't get that job, or because they split up with someone, or whatever it is that they didn't get that didn't turn out the way they wanted it to, please don't fall back on that awful, limiting, deterministic and ultimately disempowering idea that somehow the universe had decreed it wasn't meant to be. The person you're speaking to deserves more than that, and your own integrity warrants more. There is no wasn't meant to be. There is simply cause and effect. Don't let anyone off the hook until they have had the opportunity to think it through honestly and reflectively, be that at work or in social life or life in general.